Welcome back to the Caregiver Minute, where every weekday family and professional caregivers gather to refine their skills, gain inspiration, and prepare to serve. About 10 years ago, early in the morning, my phone rang. I was awakened out of a dead sleep to the sound of smashing glass and yelling and a very distressed caregiver who was saying, "Eric, we need help. This man is tearing the place apart." He was literally throwing things, he was breaking things. He had completely lost it. This gentleman was living with the results of a traumatic brain injury, and he woke up that morning because he heard sounds of people. He thought that he was in his home. He thought they were all invaders in his home, and he tried to chase them out. And when they wouldn't leave, he started just breaking things, trying to scare them out of his home. What a terrifying situation that was for everybody involved. When we unpack something like that, though, we can see that this gentleman was really interpreting things based on the context that he was perceiving. A lot of times people ask me, "Eric, what do I do when this person behaves in this way?" Or "Why does this happen?" And one of the things that is most frequently overlooked is the role of the silent caregiver. The silent caregiver is the environment itself. And since so many people living with dementia are just making sense of the world moment by moment, they are interpreting what's going on largely based on the context they're in. So if they're in an environment in that moment that looks like their bedroom or looks like their home, then they're likely to respond in ways driven by that perception. And if they think that they're in a public space, that's going to affect them in different ways. Now, there's not one right or wrong environment. It's just that people will perceive things differently based on how that environment is set up, and we need to understand that. So if someone thinks that they're in their home and it's time to leave their home, if we understand it from that point of view, we can come up with different kinds of interventions than if they think that they're in a hospital or if they think they're at a restaurant. So much of what happens when we're serving people with dementia just has to do with the stage that the action is unfolding on and the fact that people are living a life of constant improvisation. So today I invite you to consider what the various stages are that the person or people that you're serving are on. And if you were beamed onto that stage, if you just showed up there, how would you interpret the context? What would you see? How would you respond? What are the likely triggers that would show up as a result of being on that stage versus something different? Well, I hope that insight makes a difference for you and the people you serve, and I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow for another episode of the Caregiver Minute.